today we're going to be talking about how you can really reflect on what's happened this year and get yourself in a really good space for the coming year. It's good to be back, and I'm just kind of raring for the new year, to be honest. So much going to be happening in my business here at Digital Yoga Academy, and I hope there's going to be lots happening in your business as well. I'm sure there will be. So that's really what I want to kind of talk to you guys about today, is really just like setting yourself up for this, because we can't just aimlessly move into 2024 without any plans in place, without having really thought about the process, right? So this is what we're starting today. We're starting that process. I really like to kind of spend this time doing some reflection and really thinking about my intentions for the year ahead. So I invite you to do the same, and that's really what we're talking about today. I want to share with you this end of year yoga business review, and I'm calling it a ritual. Okay, so it's a ritual, it's a process, but it's also a ritual. Okay, and I want you to really digest what I've got to say today and see if it's something that kind of resonates with you, and perhaps it's something that can help you to kind of get you moving for this new year ahead. Going into this type of review, okay, and taking the time to actually review what's happened in 2023, really need to set aside a couple of hours to do this work, okay, exclusively for yourself. Set aside a couple of hours, okay, it's important. And I'm going to take you through this process. The first step in this process is really about intention setting, okay? So we know about this, don't we, as yoga teachers, and you know, we encourage our students to set intentions. You know, perhaps this is part of the classes that you teach, to set an intention for that journey and for that class. And so I want you to start this process, this review ritual is what I'm calling it. I want you to start this process by really just thinking about, you know, what you aim to get from this introspective experience, okay, what you want to get out of it. Now, if you think about the last year, you know, perhaps it's presented some challenges along the way, and you're just really keen to, you know, shed any kind of resentment that you might be feeling, or, you know, to rid of this feeling of being stuck, right? I hear this a lot. You know, I feel stuck. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know what steps to take. Maybe your intention is to shed that, you know, once and for all. Or the feeling of guilt or shame. You know, perhaps you didn't hit your goals that you set out to achieve. So what is your intention going into this review process? Okay. Now, part of this intention setting step is also really to think about, or is not to think about it, but to actually create an intentional space for this ritual. Okay, so I don't know about you, but you know, for me, if I'm stepping into this kind of place of or this place for reflection, okay, which is what this is really about, and I'm wanting to reflect and review on what's happened so far, I want to really create a space that is calm and is cozy. And you know, I'll sit by my altar, and I'll light some candles and incense, and I'll meditate, and I'll breathe, and I'll do all of these pieces before I kind of get to work, so to speak. And you know, as yoga teachers, we have these tools, right? We have these tools. And so if you really want to make 2024, you know, or give the next year your best shot, acknowledge that your surroundings, okay, and the space that you're doing this review and this reflection in plays a pivotal role in that, right? So what we're doing here is we're crafting some ambience. We're crafting the ambience for this reflective journey. Step one is we're creating some intentions, first of all, for this process. What do we intend to get out of this? We're being intentional about the space that we're going to sit in whilst we go through this reflection time. And also, you're going to carve out the time. Okay, so a couple of hours. You need a couple of hours for this. This isn't like a 10-minute jobby. We actually need to do the work, right? We actually need to create some space, carve the time out, quiet time, no disturbances. Okay, so step two, let's dive in. So this one really is all about the good stuff, right? Let's start with the good stuff, like the wins, the victories, right? Whatever really kind of rocked your world this year. You know, maybe it's this big thing that made you do this real happy dance, or, you know, the smaller wins, which are just as valid, those things that kind of, you know, just light you up during your day, or they kind of add a bit of sparkle to your day. So it's not always about the kind of brag-worthy stuff, okay? We want the big wins and the small wins. There's no right or wrong, and just really make a list, jot it all down, but really include the significant stuff and then the smaller victories. Okay, we're going to include it all. As business owners, what we tend to do is we'll be kind of looking towards the next goal, right? We're looking at the next goal, and we're never spending this time, or maybe never is the wrong word, but we don't often spend the time to really kind of appreciate how far we've come. Yeah, the things that we've already achieved, and to celebrate those things. This is something that I struggled with for many years, you know, to celebrate the wins. You know, I used to just come in like, okay, done, next, what's next on the list, and not really take the time to celebrate those achievements. And I think this is a really important part of staying positive. Maybe you hosted a workshop. Maybe you sold out that workshop. Perhaps you created a freebie, right? And you got some new subscribers on your list to sign up for that freebie. Maybe you ran an online challenge. Okay, lots of our profitable yogis have been doing this, running online challenges to grow their email lists. Perhaps you secured a new partnership, right? What was it? Okay, take stock of what you did. There's kind of like a second part to this step two. We're on step two here, but there's like a second part to it. So once you've got your kind of list of all the things that, you know, you achieved, what did you have to do to achieve those things? Okay, what actions, what habits, what steps did you have to take? Yeah, that helped you to achieve these things. What did you have to do? Because if you can list all these things, if you can really think about what you had to do to actually achieve these, to kind of get these wins, what you're doing is you're exposing a list of activities, of tasks that you're doing in your business that are working and are getting you results. Okay, so we want to go a little bit deeper with this. Okay, these are the things that you're doing day to day that are helping you to get results. So for example, if one of your wins, you know, your wins are that you have been creating better content this year, right? You've created better content, it's been more engaging, you know, you're getting better feedback, you've been able to grow your community as a result of your content. Well, what have you been doing that's allowed you to achieve that? Okay, maybe, you know, if you're a teacher, if you're a student of ours in YOGIPRENEUR LAUNCHPAD or the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program, you've been learning a repurposing process for your content, okay, that's allowing you to create new content every single week and share it across multiple channels, okay, and that's helped you also to get your freebie out there. It's helped you also to grow your email list, aka grow your community, okay. So what are those things that you've had to do? And you can think about the repurposing strategy that you've been taught, and maybe there's parts of that repurposing strategy that you haven't done yet that you can be like, oh wow, okay, well, it's got me this far and I know there's still some things that I can do to make it even better. Great, okay, let's improve this, let's improve it even more. So really think about that. What are the things that you've had to do to get the wins, right? So we're going to celebrate those things. I also want you to not forget, right, as part of this step, and this is why, guys, you need at least 2 hours to do this, okay? As part of step two, I want you to dive into your numbers. Okay, so we're not just saying, okay, yeah, I launched this, or, you know, this great thing happened, or, you know, whatever it was, whatever it is your win. But I want you to really look at your numbers, okay? As a business owner, you do need to put that hat on, and you need to know your finances. You need to know your financials, your revenue, your expenses, your profits, okay? The growth of your email list, the growth of your Instagram, your Facebook group. All of these numbers, start to really look at them so that you can analyze them and get really clear on these figures, because this is what's going to show you your year-on-year growth, okay, your month-on-month growth, okay. You should be doing this on an ongoing basis, okay. So lots and lots of wins to celebrate. Now, for us here at Digital Yoga Academy, we've been celebrating as well. So we've had our biggest financial year, okay. We launched our mastermind for the first time. So we launched and filled our high ticket $12,000 mastermind in earlier this year. We've also had 2 multi 6-figure launches for the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, okay. They're the largest ones to date. And you know, we've got our evergreen programs with consistent monthly revenue coming in as well. So financially, the best year that we've had. Our students have also had their best year, okay? So the results, the case studies, the testimonials have really been next level in 2023. And this proves that when you're consistent, okay, and I'm talking about you guys now, when you're consistent and you work at it and you follow the steps, okay, you follow frameworks, you can get results. And, you know, they're the results that matter in your business. So this has been a big win for us here internally, are the student success stories, and being able to share those student success stories with our wider community. So if you're not yet a student of ours, you can see the types of results that our students are getting. And they are, of course, results that are available to you too, okay? And it's actually a KPI for my team. So a key performance indicator for my team is to ensure our students' success, okay? Student retention and getting our students, you guys, to the finish line and getting you results. So, you know, I want to congratulate my team, okay? Big thanks, big shout out to Team DYA for all of their hard work this year and really supporting our students, supporting our community. We've, you know, made a significant impact internally with our processes and systems that have allowed us to really support and, you know, communicate with a larger number of students, which is absolutely incredible. And speaking of a large number of students, we've almost supported 5,000 students in our programs, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So we're going to be celebrating this in the new year. We'll be celebrating our 5,000th student at some point in the new year, and who knows, it could be you, okay? So I'm super excited about that. For me personally, as the CEO, I have just enjoyed 2 months off. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been away. I haven't been away, but I've been taking a step back. I haven't been on these lives for a while. I haven't been on these lives since end of October. And yeah, it's been really great to have that space and to have that freedom. Last year I did the same. I did 6 weeks in 2022 when I went back to the UK to see my family after 2 years away. And yeah, this year I've essentially had November and December off, you know, except some client calls here and there, some client calls in our mastermind, the Visionary Mastermind. I've still been serving those clients, but it's allowed me to work on some of my passion projects. So I'm actually building a villa here in Bali at the moment, and we're in the final stages of that. So it's actually a full-time job in itself. So it's allowed me to focus on that, and you know, everything's been ticking along. The team have been, you know, ticking along. The systems and everything has been moving forward. So that is a huge success, right? A huge achievement for me personally in the business. And the point here, guys, is really to recognize the wins in your business, but also what your business is allowing you to do on a personal level, right? So ultimately that's what we want to get to. Like, we are building freedom-based businesses that allow us to create the impact that we want to create in our students' lives, but also in our own lives as well, right? That's why we're doing this. That's why it is hard work. It is challenging. We have to keep moving through the challenges to get there. It's not going to be an easy thing that someone just says, here you go, here it is, all handed on a plate. You know, you come into a program and it's suddenly just going to materialize. No, we have to do the work to make it happen. Okay, and that's why support, having mentors to coach you through that is the way to do it, right? We don't want to do these things on our own. Step one, we had create your intention for this process, create a beautiful environment, surroundings to go into this reflective experience. Step two is to really look at the wins, the achievements, what went well. Celebrate yourself as you go through this. What has gone well for you personally? What has your business allowed you to do personally? Think about the process, the steps that you've had to take in order to achieve those wins. So in step three, we are releasing, right? We're releasing. So I want you to think about, and I think this is a beautiful time to do this reflection and this review today, right? We were full moon last night, okay? It's a beautiful time to let go, right? To let go, to reflect, to let go so that we can move forward, okay? So what are you releasing? What felt hard this year? What challenges have you had to navigate? Yeah, what are the things that didn't go so well? We need to bring some awareness to all of this as well. Like, what have you learnt through these challenges? There's power in this, isn't there? There's real power in letting go so that you can create your 2024 from a place of neutrality. Yeah, and you've cleansed what's no longer working for you. What did you want to achieve but you didn't? And why didn't you achieve those things? Don't feel bad about that. You know, sometimes we want to achieve something, but it doesn't quite happen when we want it to happen, okay? And that doesn't mean that it's something that won't be achieved in the future. Now, everything, if we remember, everything is a stepping stone, right? Everything is a stepping stone to get you where you want to be, okay? So this is where we have to think about our longer term vision. Maybe there was something that you feel guilt or shame around not achieving in 2023, but perhaps it just wasn't the right time for it. Perhaps there was other things that you had to experience first in order to come to that. Maybe that thing is actually for 2024. Okay, we don't have to completely write it off. This is why this reflection and review process is so powerful, okay? Because when you go through that review and you see the stepping stones that you've taken, that's when you might have that aha moment and realize, oh, okay, I actually wasn't supposed to do this thing now, right? Because I had to do these things first. I want to share an exercise for you now, actually. Okay, so you'll need to get your journal for this. Okay, so it's an exercise that's related to this step, okay, which is really about what we want to let go of and what didn't quite go so well in 2023. And it's not always the business strategies, right? So I want you to get your journal, and in fact get your journal now just to write these things down, because there's a few prompts that I just want to share with you. Okay, so I want you to just think about this year and think about where you felt stuck. Okay, think about where you felt stuck. What challenges have you experienced? What have you had on a personal level where you've been getting in your own way? Okay, so right now I'm talking about the doubts, the fears, the worries, yeah, the imposter syndrome, you know, thinking about how you have been feeling. Okay, I want you to really kind of tune into that, tune into how you've been feeling and what's really been going on. When you do that, think about how much of that version of you is the version of you today, right? How much of that version of you who's had the doubts, the fears and the worries is the version of you right now, okay? How much of that baggage, right, That heavy baggage of doubt, worry, and fear are you carrying with you in terms of the way that you're thinking? Yeah, and those blocks. As you begin to write this out, I want you to start questioning yourself, okay? So this is where the power lies. This is the powerful exercise. I want you to start questioning yourself. So if you've written down, one of my biggest challenges is that I constantly feel confused and overwhelmed. I don't want you to leave it there, okay? I want you to then ask yourself why you constantly feel confused and overwhelmed. Yeah, ask yourself why. Okay, and then you'll write some more. Okay, see where I'm going with this? You'll write some more. And so you'll basically start looking at what is the next question to ask yourself. So maybe you feel confused and overwhelmed because you have so much going on. Then you ask yourself, is it truly about this or is it about something else? Yeah, so every time you're writing something, you're constantly asking why. Like, why have I truly got something on? Is it really about that? Ask yourself why, okay? So I want you to do this journal exercise, okay? Because this is really going to help you to bring that awareness around the doubt, the fear, the worries, and quite often, most of the time, it's ourselves that we are holding ourselves back, right? We are the problem, essentially, and who we are being right now. It actually requires us to be someone different, okay? We can't do the same this year as next year. Like, we can't do the same. We can't do the same next year as we have this year. We have to be someone different. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so the next step. Are we down so far? We've gone through 3 steps. The next step 4. What changes are you making based on these insights? So this is why the journal exercise is so powerful, okay? What changes are you going to make having gone through this process? Because we know if nothing changes, or nothing changes if nothing changes, right? Nothing is going to change. We're going to have the same year if we don't change, right? We know this. So this is the whole point of this process. Like, what are we going to do differently next time round? Can you think of anything? Is anything coming to mind already? Who is it that you are going to grow into? Right? And what's that game plan to kind of kickstart this transformation right now? What is the picture of yourself in 2024? What does it look like? This version of yourself, the one that's really pulling in all the results that you've been dreaming of, right? It's really about playing that part now, being that person now, even before reality is catching up. This is about creating awareness, isn't it? It's about creating awareness so that you can start looking at how you are thinking and looking at your decision-making processes and the action that you're taking in all of these areas, right? It's not just your business, it's in all areas of your life. So this process, you can also do this for your life, right? It doesn't have to just be for your business. And it's so insightful. It's really going to help you to take this hard look at who you've been being this year and what changes you actually need to make. I know that if I want to make next year the best year ever, 2024, my big year, I know that I need to get out of my head, out of the sand. I need to address some of the biggest problems and challenges that I have. And those problems and challenges are ultimately me, right? I am the problem. I am the challenge, right? So I have to address what's going on up here, here in my mind. If I want to show up, if I want to bring my best self to the table, bring this next level me to the table, okay? Because she's there, but I have to work on myself first in order for that to happen, okay? So this is why we go through this process, this ritual. We go through this ritual of reviewing, of reflecting, doing those exercises, doing that journal exercise that I've talked you through, guys. This is why we do this, to really tune in with ourselves, okay? Because this is how we create awareness of who we are being now and who we want to be in the future, so that we can achieve all of our goals, right? So that we can really create this incredible online business that changes people's lives, right? Ultimately, this is always what it's going to be, the thing that gets you out of bed, the thing that, moves you through the challenges, the thing that gets you the results that you want. It's how are you changing people's lives? Yeah, what is the legacy that you're creating? What is the mission that you have for your business? What is the impact, right? It always comes down to that. It's not about making six figures, guys. It's about the impact that you're creating in people's lives. Yeah, that's the thing. And you know this, right? You all know this in your heart. So you have to keep tuning into that. When it gets hard, when life gets hard, when business gets hard, let's keep reminding ourselves why we did this in the first place. Why did you leave your 9-to-5 job? Why did you decide that teaching in studios is too much and you want to create your own business? Like, why did you make that shift, take that decision? So we are getting intentional, right, about the changes that we are itching to make. And there's so much going on in the world right now. So of course it's about the impact that we want to create in people's lives. Isn't it? With everything that's going on right now, it is about the impact that you want to create. So allow your business, allow yourself to really step into your role as a leader, to step into this space that you're creating for yourself and create that impact. Create the legacy, do the thing. This is why we're here. But we must be intentional about it. This actually is part of a 2-part series. Okay, so today we've talked about reviewing. I've shared with you my 4-step end of year review ritual, and next week I'll be going live to talk about planning and goal setting. Okay, but this step is the important step. So if you're thinking, oh, planning, goal setting, I'm just going to wait for that, you need to do this step first. If in the meantime you want to be inside our Facebook group, we have 20,000 yoga teachers inside our Facebook group. If you want to come and share your journal exercise, if you want to come and share anything that you've kind of taken from this training with me today, I would love to see that. I'd love to support you inside our group. That is the place to get support in our community. And all that has to be said is Happy New Year to everybody. I'm so happy to be back after my little break off. And yeah, really looking forward to creating more with all of you in 2024 and supporting you in your businesses. Okay, lots and lots of love. See you guys soon. Bye. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.